Hello and welcome to yet another episode of WMCT Sports Weekly. The fall season is a little past the halfway point, and we have some teams looking toward playoff spots and some clinching them. Let's get right to the action with the 2-minute drill. The Panther field hockey team looked to stay undefeated Tuesday afternoon, but they would have to score on Groton Dunstable's amazing goalkeeper. And here, as Katie Glennon has the breakaway, she stones her. Off the corner, Jill Petrie sends it in to Christina Leonard, who has one shot blocked, then another, and then another. Her and Mariah Berry just can't get it past the goalie, who's on the ground. The goalie gets up, nothing's going in, keeps it out of the net and keeping the game at zeros. Here, off a backhand shot from Colin Hennessy, the goalie kicks it up into the air. Hennessy catches it on a stick, tries to flip it over the net. Petrie comes in with a high stick. It's called a dangerous hit, and no goal for the Panthers. Now Leonard with a chance again. This time she passes it in to Liv Larson, who finally gets it in the net to put Marlborough up 1-0. In the second half, Hennessy rips his shot. It beats the goalie, but her best friend is standing right behind her as it hits the post. No goal for Marlborough. Here on a corner, Hennessy puts a shot on net. It's stopped, but right back to Hennessy, who tries to flip again. This time it works, and the Panthers go up 2-0. That insurance would come in handy as Sarah Popacek stops the initial shot from the Crusaders, but they get another shot and put it on net, bringing the score within one. That would be all that anyone gets as Marlborough goes on to win 2-1, improving to 10-0-1 on the season. With a win, the Lady Panthers can clinch a playoff spot. Early on, Hallie McCabe finds Casey Sybil, who settles it and rips a shot past the keeper, who is looking around for some help from her defense. Marlborough with a corner kick, and out of nowhere, McCabe skies above everyone to get ahead on it and adds to the Panther lead. They start to run away with it as Carrie Sybil drops a defender, beats another, and then beats the goalie for a 3-0 advantage. Now fighting some glare here. After the save from Quavin's keeper, the ball bounces around until it finds McCabe, who puts it in for her second goal. One more for good measure as Molly Farrell receives the pass from Vicky Brightonfield, and this is just a case of a perfect shot that no one is going to be able to handle, and the score is now 5-0. The girls celebrate as they clinch a playoff spot and improve their record to 7-0-4 on the season. Looking to get back to 500, the Assabet girls soccer team took on AMSA in a battle for Marlborough. It was the Eagles who struck first, as this shot is just out of the reach of Ashley Harrington, who other than this had a stellar day in net. Assabet is looking to get something going, but Rochelle Harpin is taken down in the goal box, and that will set up a penalty kick. Nicole Lento set to take the shot, and the keeper guesses wrong as Lento ties the game at 1. The Aztecs must have had some of MJ's secret stuff from Space Jam at halftime, because they came out in the second half on a mission. Lento, who scored earlier, has a beautiful cross to the waiting foot of Agostino, who puts Assabet up 1. Minutes later, it's Lento again with a shot off the crossbar, and Rochelle Harpin is there to net the rebound and give the Aztecs a 2-goal advantage. Lento is absolutely everywhere. This time, another perfect pass, Harpin on the receiving end, and she goes up and over the keeper's head to really open this one up. AMSA misplays this one, and it's Harpin who shares the wealth, passing ahead to Agostino, who beats the goalie low, and now the floodgates are open. Why not get one more? Off the corner kick, the ball finds Catherine Burns, I believe that's who it is, and she flips it up and in to make the score 6-1. That's what the final would be, as the Aztecs move to 5-5-2 on the season and 4-3-1 in the league. The number 2 ranked Marlborough boys soccer team took on Neshoba Tuesday, and early on, Neshoba put all the pressure on the Panthers. Pedro Guerrera makes one diving stop on this shot here. Neshoba with another chance a little later on, and again it's Guerrera diving to his left, making the stop. Now the Chieftains with a corner kick, and it looks like they have a chance, but luckily for the Panthers, it goes right over the crossbar. Still 0-0. The Panthers are more effective with their chances as Andre Farias boots a perfect ball, and Vinny Vega gets his head on it and puts Marlborough up 1-0. In the second half, All the chances for Neshoba pay off as Sebastian Tomasi is ahead of the pack and sneaks the shot under Guerreria's hand, and he is excited. Look at him running around, throwing himself a little parade. The celebration would end though as Farias rips a shot that is saved, but Ryan Goldner is there for the rebound and gives the Panthers the 2-1 advantage. They hold on to that score and improve to 10-1-1 on the season. The Marlboro girls soccer team played Neshoba right after, and like the boys game, Neshoba put pressure on from the start, but unfortunately they were more successful than the boys as they break through early with their first goal. Still in the first, another chance for the Chieftains, and again they are able to beat Nicole Galiak, putting Neshoba up 2-0. A great chance here for the Panthers with the goalie out of position, but an even better defensive play keeps the ball out of the net and keeps the shutout intact. A little later, Hallie McKay breaks through 2 defenders, crosses it, and Maddie Farrell's there to clean up the loose ball and get Marlboro right back in the game. Much like the first half, Neshoba comes out aggressive in the second, and it pays off as they are able to score early and get a little insurance. Here it's just an uncharacteristic mistake by Nicole Galiak as she lets the easy save go through her hands. This goal would give Neshoba's Abby McNulty a hat trick and make the score 4-1. The score would remain that as the Panthers fall for the first time this season, dropping to 7-1-4. 2 more football games for you this weekend as Marlboro hosts reigning Division II state champion Neshoba at Kelleher Field Friday night. The Panthers will be looking to avenge 2 losses to the Chieftains last season. Assabet will be celebrating homecoming as they take on Murdoch at home Saturday afternoon. The Aztecs looking to stay undefeated on the season. When we get back, we will be in the Talkin' Sports 2.0 locker room with an all too early wrap-up of the Red Sox season. We will be right back.
Hi, my name is Stu Carrasco of the Boston Bruins. Hockey Fights Cancer is teaming up with the Pancreatic Cancer Action Network, and you can help. Learn how by going to thepancan.org and join the fight against pancreatic cancer today.
Welcome back to Sports Weekly. We're in the Talkin' Sports 2.0 locker room, which means
Donald Trump locker room talk with
boy.
Billy Bush.
Oh,
I don't know.
Here we go.
I don't know. Zoe's here, so I don't know if we should. What it really means is this is the post-mortem to the 2016 Red Sox, who won 93 games in the regular season and 0 in the postseason. Very, very disappointing. So, what do you think?
Well, I think it is very disappointing, but I'm already looking towards next year, which is very, very weird to look at it without David Ortiz being there. I don't know how we get past that. It's very odd.
Yeah, especially, 30-something home runs, over 100 RBI, batted over 300. Mm-hmm. It was insane for a 40-year-old, and it's terrifying to think of a lineup.
So here's what I want to know. There's already a lot of people saying, should he really retire? Retire. Should he come back? Because people have done that before. Oh, I'm retiring. Some people were saying that he might come back. Is that something that you really think is going to happen? Because I know it was with his feet. It was something that was medically, he was worn out, it seemed like.
No, he's done. I mean, he's done. It's great that he went out with 37 homers, 121 RBI, and a .315 batting average. So let him go. It's just now we have to look as fans at what comes next. And is that Hanley Ramirez being the DH? Maybe Pablo Fatboy Sandoval. Maybe he's the DH because you have a competition with 3 other players going for third base.
I'd like to personally see Hanley and get someone at first that plays a little better defense. I just think his destiny is a designated hitter.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what he wants.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't terrible at first, but he wasn't great.
No.
I mean, not at all. No. And then, yeah, I think you figure out third base, kind of basically just keep it warm until May when they can call up Moncada again. Just ride with him.
Yeah. See how many strikeouts he gets in a row, see if he can break his own
exactly. But I mean, Pedroia batted under 200 until like June in 2007. Terry Francona, who I think may have managed circles around John Farrell this past week, he just said, "You're our second baseman. Figure it out. You'll be fine. And he won the Rookie of the Year and was the MVP the next year.
But where does Pablo fit into it, if at all? I mean, you came from the San Francisco area. You saw him at his best.
I have a lot of thoughts about this because I came here and there's a lot of haters about Pablo Sandoval, and we dealt with the exact same player and his exact same things that he was dealing with. His weight was an issue with San Francisco. His playing was not. So I have a problem coming into the East Coast, and everyone's like, oh, I'm glad he got hurt. It's more of, it's going to help our team more. Well, I don't know. What if? What if he was with the team during this round? Maybe we would have won a game. I think Ortiz leaving.
He just would have broken 3 more belts when he swung the bat.
He has been at the clubhouse getting stronger every single day, and there's promise of good return from him. He's going to be back in full swing, and he seems stronger. He seems solid, and if talking about back with the Giants, I mean, he was a leader like Ortiz. He was a homer, huge game time homer like Ortiz. He's somebody I think that could follow, not fill, Ortiz in a pretty positive way for the Red Sox. And I'm looking forward. I think you guys are going to change your minds about him.
So one thing important that you said was his weight was an issue, but his play wasn't.
Yeah.
Here, his weight and his play have been an issue. He just has not been good.
I mean, there wasn't that much time.
He had a whole season.
But
That's,
I think you're also talking about his first season. So you're talking about transition time, too. Let's look at all the other players given. I think that with a new team, a new structure, I agree, his weight has always been an issue, but his play was also for a long time spent with the Giants. So, I just think people on the East Coast need to give him a little more time, and I think he's going to show up to the plate this year, and I'm kind of excited about what he can do, and I think, like I said, he can follow, maybe Ortiz is out, but maybe, Panda's in.
I think that's steep because Ortiz is a Hall of Famer. I don't think
All
Pablo
right.
Sandoval is.
Well, Tom, what about the rotation, okay? Pomerantz is not going to cut it. And sorry, folks at home, but whatever you want to call him, Rodriguez, he stinks. He's going to stink. He's never going to be the guy that's got the 2-point-something ERA. He's a waste of time. And then you're relying on Stephen Wright, a knuckleballer, to recreate what he already did. We've seen through Tim Wakefield and other knuckleballers, that just doesn't happen. So he's a nice 5th starter. You have a lot of holes and a lot of David Price issues in that rotation.
Oh, absolutely. And that was the whole weakness. They were able to hide that when you are averaging like 12 runs a game against the Athletics, like 6 runs a game against the Rays, and you play them 19 times.
Yeah.
You play the weaker teams, and then you get to the postseason and you run into Corey Kluber, who shuts you down for 7 innings, and for some reason Trevor Bauer. And then Tito's a genius and puts Andrew Miller in when the game's on the line. He doesn't wait for a 3-out save like Buck Showalter, and he cost his team the season. They need something with pitching. I don't know if they go out and get maybe just a number 3 starter, because I do like Porcello.
Yeah.
He wasn't great last year. He was really good this year. Price has to figure it out. Yeah. With that much money, you have to keep sending him out there because that's what he's here for.
Right.
But what makes me nervous is he could come back and have a great season. Price, that is. He's not good in the playoffs. 9 games, 9 starts, 0 wins, and a huge ERA. Yeah. He is not good in the playoffs. That's the biggest concern. Mm-hmm. Like I said, you can mask bad pitching in the regular season, but in the postseason, it does not. You can't mask it.
Right.
Because you can get shut down, and then you need Clay Buchholz to step up, which he actually did. He was their best pitcher in that series for the game that he started.
You're going to give Clay Buchholz $13.5 million just to be here because that's how pathetic this rotation is.
Which is a terrible, terrible thought.
But they're going to do it. They
I
have
agree.
no choice. Yeah. But then I'm hearing a lot of rumblings about bringing Uehara back. He's just as old as I am. He cannot pitch any. I don't care what he came back and did for a few innings.
Yeah.
He's not gonna work out. I'd rather have Ziegler back. They're not talking about Ziegler.
I don't know. Dombrowski, to me, in his postseason or after the season press conference, I wasn't thrilled with it. He said, Farrell's the manager, and he actually said these words out loud. in-game managing isn't one of the major things I look for in a manager. What else does he have? It's the name of the title. And then he said he's fine with the rotation. Anyone with eyeballs and a brain saw that that was their weakness.
Yeah.
Their bullpen wasn't good, and he didn't mention that. The one thing is Carson Smith is coming back, and that
True.
I think if Kimbrel can bounce back, and then you have 8-9 locked down, that's huge. Then you have to get through 7 innings.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not thrilled with what Dombrowski has been saying, but who knows? Maybe the winter meeting, something happens, and someone comes available, and he says, "Thanks for the career year, Jackie Bradley. See you later."
It might happen for a
Yeah.
pitcher. You never know.
Exactly.
So, you never know.
All right.
That it?
All right. I think so.
Can I request that we get some chairs in here? I'm an old
Yeah.
man, and I can't
Keep
stand
saying
this
I'm-
long
I've
anymore.
been saying that since day one.
We need to
Jump
get some
Street.
chairs in here.
All right. So that's going to do it for this edition, and we'll be right back.
2010, after 2 years of constant bullying, 11-year-old Ty Smalley took his own life. In the past 7 years, more than 55,000 children have taken their own lives due to bullying. That's 22 youth suicides every day. Stand for the Silent is a grassroots organization that educates people about the harsh reality of bullying and the devastation it causes, and they need your help. Visit standforthesilent.org to learn how you can get involved and help us to save lives.
I stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I stand for the
I
silent.
stand for the
I
silent.
stand for the
I
silent.
stand for the silent.
I stand for the
I
silent.
stand for
I
the
stand
silent.
for the
I
silent.
stand for the silent.
I stand for the silent.
I'm Roddy Piper, and we stand for the silent.
The Marlboro Panther girls soccer team has been red hot so far this season, and our Matt Pasaccio sat down with head coach Samantha Kramer in this week's Coach's Corner.
Thanks, Tom. We're here with Marlboro High girls soccer coach Sam Kramer. Coach, thank you very much for spending some time with us.
Thanks, it's nice to be here.
For the audience out there that isn't very familiar with us, why don't you take us along your journey through your playing days?
Sure. I started playing when I was really young, when I lived in Texas, and grew up playing soccer pretty much my whole life, from youth teams, club teams, and when we moved to Massachusetts I continued playing, so youth teams, club teams, state team, middle school, the whole 9 yards, and then eventually played in school.
What would be the big difference, would you think, between playing down south and playing up here?
You can play a lot longer during the year. It definitely is very competitive, but they can play year-round down in Texas because they just don't have the same kind of inclement weather that we do here. But I would say that's the main difference, is the ability to play a lot more year-round outdoors.
And what led you to being a coach?
Actually, that's a interesting story, I guess. I loved playing, and I have to say the previous coach of the high school team was my coach when I was in high school, and I had gone through kind of like a rough patch when I was younger, and he was like a great sort of inspiration. And when I was having a rocky patch thinking about quitting soccer, he kind of got me involved with the high school team, and I was playing as a freshman, and I wanted to be able to kind of turn that around and pass it on to other kids, and sort of help like coach a team in my community, and that's sort of what turned me into wanting to be a coach like after I got out of school.
Were there any ways that you wanted to emulate your predecessor?
Yeah, I think he was very driven, and he always had a great heart for the team, and cared a lot about the girls, and I just wanted to be able to do the same sort of thing for my girls.
Now, coming off the heels of a 5-0 victory, over the past 3 games you've outscored your opponents 11-0. What would you attribute to that strong start, or the strong season that you've had thus far?
I would definitely attribute the strong season to the work that my team has put in the off season. So the girls, especially starting at the top with our senior leadership this year, They were very driven. They came into a pretty successful program when they were freshmen, and sophomore and junior years, things were a little bit rocky, and they definitely had the drive to really want to turn it around for their senior year. And they are wonderful girls. They're great leaders, and they just are, very fun to coach and a nice members of our team. And I think they are definitely one of the driving forces behind us being successful this year.
Are there a couple of players that in your mind stand out that maybe you wouldn't have expected to play as well coming into the season?
Oh, that's a good question. I think for us, we've had a lot of people be kind of outstanding contributors. Definitely our goalkeeper this year, Nicole Galiak, has stepped up. She was a part of our program last year on the JV team, but she's really, turned it on and had some stellar games. Definitely some of our sophomores have come through in big ways in terms of scoring and just their hard work and hustle. And I also think, again, the senior captains that I have, so there's 5 this year, and they've been kind of a big part of it. So I would say, it's Casey Seibel, Megan Sari, Carrie Morris, Victoria Breitenfeld, and Molly Farrell. Those guys have been the glue along with our other seniors, Isla Neff, Anna Barretto, and Charlotte Simmons. So it's really a true team. There's a lot of cohesiveness, and they work very hard for each other, which is nice.
Now, you said there's some strong senior leadership on your team. However, there are some sophomores and juniors mixed up in there. How do you keep your team focused down the stretch?
That's a great question. Sometimes we lack a little focus. No, I think the ultimate goal for us is to put ourselves in the best situation going into playoffs. So they're using the Walker system this year, which is a little bit new, but obviously the goal is to have the most amount of points going into the tournament as possible. Those 4 ties that we have are taking away from that a little bit, but we want to be as successful as possible in the regular season so that we can get a higher standing in the postseason. So that's definitely a focus for us. And also sort of just staying focused on having the team dynamics still work out, having the team work very hard in practice, because I think we practice like we play. So when we have good practices, we tend to have pretty good games. When we have practices that aren't as good, we've had some ties. So we're hoping to make sure our practice stay focused and that we are continuing to work hard.
Great. Well, good luck to you and your girls down the stretch.
Thank you very much.
That's it for now. Back to you, Tom.
That's it for this week. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, and if you've missed any episodes, check out our Vimeo page where we have all the past episodes on demand. For WMCT Sports Weekly, I'm Tom Brown. We'll see you again next week.